I'm Ryan Moody and welcome to this week's blog post. This week I've got my mate Ash from Jarvis Walker Brands. He's coming up the coast, so he popped in for a bit of a chat, show us a few products. But first we're going to talk a little bit about what type of reel is more comfortable for lure fishing. In my charter business, I get a lot of people who aren't that brilliant with a baitcaster. So we've changed over to the light spin these days, and by teaching people how to use them the right way, we can actually get them throwing lures quite accurately on the mark. And a lot of other sport fishermen nowadays are turning to light spin for lure casting as well. But there are more comfortable reels out there too, and many people prefer the low profile baitcasters. So Ash, what do you prefer, mate? Do you prefer the baitcasters? Does that suit you more, or are you more of a spin kind of user?
Personally for myself, because I am a hard body lure thrower.
Yep.
I prefer the low profile reels for myself.
Yep.
Simply because they are a lot lighter and they're a lot more smaller compact reel, and they do fit in the palm of your hand, therefore making it a lot easier for me to palm.
Yep, it just makes you don't have to grab hold of the rod grip all the time to twitch and stuff like that. You can just use the reel in your hand to do that.
Yep.
And you're already on the money for when you get the hook up as well. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. But and also the best thing about having these low profiles also allows you to do the flick casts under the mangroves, and the skip casting's becoming very popular now for mangrove jacks and barras and that sort of thing.
Yep, skip casting is coming very, very popular.
Yep.
More so with low profile reels, but there are guys out there who are just as capable of skip casting with spin.
With spin.
Yep.
So it's pretty much personal preference, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And these are some of the new models. Everyone knows I use the quantum reels anyway. But these are the new Smoke HDs. That's the one on the end there.
Yeah, the new Smoke HD. This was released at AFTA, which is the Australian Fishing Tackle Show. You got really good reception on this. So basically, this was released at ICAST this year as well, which is the American show. Yep. New reel for this year. It's called Smoke HD for a number of reasons. It's a 150 frame with a 200 size spool in it, so it's got a lot of line capacity. Holds 230 yards of 30-pound braid. Which
is good for the trollers.
Yep. 25 pounds of drag.
Yep.
For guys who use bait casting tackle like yourself and have big hands, we've got a 95mm crank handle.
Yep.
And we've got extra large EVA knobs.
Yeah. Did you hear that? Us guys have got big hands. No, it's good, mate. Yeah. And what's the other models they've brought out as well?
We've got new A-series smokes. So we've got the Smoke SPTA. They come in two gear ratios. They come in a 6.1 and a 7.3.
And they're a slightly smaller body again. They really fit in your hands.
So they've gone away from, they've redesigned the whole smoke range completely now, and they've gone to a new PTX frame design, which makes it a little bit lighter in weight, and also makes the frame a lot more rigid. Couple of features that the smoke range that these three models here have compared to any other brand on the market is actually have a removable front gear hood. So you undo two little screws and this front gear hood comes out. Okay. As you can see, you've got access to your...
Oh, so if you want a little bit of grease or a little bit of oil in there.
Lubricate.
Yeah.
You know,
in between services. Wow.
You know, and then that little gear hood goes back on with two little screws.
Yep.
And
you're away.
You're away. Yep.
Cool. How good's that? Now also, with when it comes to jigging, vibing's a very popular method of fishing these days. You see a lot of people using the spin with the 7-foot rods, because probably with that sort of style of fishing, the fish do take the lures and come to the surface pretty quick, and you've got to catch up to them rather fast.
Yep.
What's the gear ratios with the quantum reels? There's a faster speed.
Well, the smoke range have a 6-to-1 and a 7.3.
Yep.
The inshore range just comes in one gear ratio, 7.3.
Yep.
And then we got a Speed Freak model in both spin and bait casters.
8.1.
These guys are 8-to-1. So if you're using a slow reel and you get a bite on the vibe and you're deep vibing, instead of winding down and chasing the fish, it's just, you know, I think one crank of the handle in 38 inches of line recovery per turn.
Wow, that's amazing, isn't it?
And the spin reels up to a 50 size, and the 40, it's up to a metre to 1.05 per turn of the handle.
Per turn of the handle. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? So you know you can get the good retrieve in the bait casters as well, and so really it's up to the personal preference, I guess, as to what stage you are at as an angler, whether you're ready for this type of stuff. But I'll recommend, if anyone is getting into the baitcaster side of things, rather than going for the old rounder type reels, look for the low profiles. They're a much better application for lure casting, a lot more comfortable. If you're really afraid of getting bird's nests using the overhead type reels, stick to the spin, of course, but they can actually have a type of a bird's nest as well. It's called a wind knot, and that is when you cast it, quite often, sometimes the outer strand of braid will pick up another strand of braid behind it, and it'll all come off the reel and end up tying in a knot in the mid-air. But they are quite easy to get out, and we're going to show you that in another blog post. Plus, those of you who are willing to step up a little bit further and start using the bait casters, definitely go for the low profiles, such as the new Smoke series. They're so much more comfortable, so much more easy to cast, and that all helps eliminating bird's nests, especially having the reel slightly lower to the rod as well, because the old drum type bait casters, the spool's up a lot higher, and for some reason when those reels have dropped down a little bit, the line does seem to travel a bit easier. So if you're going to start off with bait casters, go for the low profiles. Now Ash, mate, I'm one of the field testers for Jarvis Walker Brands, and I've been field testing these reels for a few years now, and I absolutely love them. I think without a doubt the best bait caster on the market, and I'm not just saying that. I'm not sponsored by Jarvis Walker, I'm just a field tester. But mate, can you tell us a little bit more about how all your field testing happens with your different types of reels and that within the country?
Yep, well, Ryan, with all of our Finor and Quantum product, we have quite a few field testers and obviously sponsored anglers as well. And when a new product comes to market, it's generally the pro team and field testers like yourself that get the new product.
Yep.
And it's extensively tested in the marketplace in real fishing situations for probably about 6 months. So for yourself, with some of the Finor and Quantum product, with your barramundi, threadfin salmon, we've got guys like Hayden Bell, who's a game boat skipper in Cairns. He tests all our Finor, San Diegos, Marquesas, more of our blue water game fishing range. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Dean Sylvester, who's one of our pro team anglers down south. He tests a lot of the Quantum stuff, so the smokes, the new smoke spin reels, and a couple of other new models that we haven't released in Australia yet.
Okay.
And because with his expertise and knowledge in fishing and using the Quantum product, he won his third Angler of the Year title in the Bass Nation stuff.
Yeah, no, and also I've noticed a lot of the tournament guys in the Barra comps, the ABT, and that are now using the Quantum reels too. Yep,
some of the guys are slowly switching over to Quantum. They are starting to realise how good of a product it actually is. Quantum in the US is massive on the bass scene, both the FLW Tour and the Bass Elite Series as well. So
yeah, you don't really hear much of any other brands over there, do you? Everything's Quantum's really massive.
And they're pros on the Elite Series. They got some big names, and the biggest name is Kevin Van Dam.
Yeah,
he's the biggest. He's a household name over there, along with Hackney and Gerard Swindle and a few other guys.
It's massive business over in America, that bass market, isn't it?
It's phenomenal. It makes the bass market alone in the US makes our industry look pretty small.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, all based on one fish.
One fish. Yeah, and it's not that big either. Nothing like a barramundi. In summary, we hope this little tips helped you out a little bit with those of you coming through the ranks, wanting to know a little bit more about what kind of reels to start using as you get better at it. And thanks very much, Ash, for coming in, explaining a bit about the new products. Appreciate it, mate.
No worries.
Thanks for coming along.
You're welcome.
If you enjoyed this little tip and you'd like to see more, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, or if you want some special tips that are only sent out via email, head on over to our website, www.ryanmoodyfishing.com, and sign up to join our free fishing community. Get on the great outdoors, keep fishing smarter, and I'll see you next time.